Forewarned Township Board, this is like, oh, we gotta figure out something, cause we don't want that woman.
Yeah, right. We are recording now.
Yes, if you'd like to,
All right, let's call the meeting to order. The Portage Township meeting for August 18th, 2026. Roll call, Ryan Hill present.
Cheryl Ashe present.
All right, Cheryl, could you move to approve the agenda?
Okay, I move we accept the agenda.
Seconded, so all in favor, aye.
I,
And motion to approve the minutes. Are there any changes needed in the minutes? I don't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
Okay,
So I move that we accept the minutes for July 21st, 2026.
okay. All right, so all in favor, aye.
I,
All right. Okay, and we're want to open for public comment. I don't see anybody online. Don't have anyone in the room that would be in public comment, so I think we can move on past that to new business. So Lana, are you going to present the budget information?
well, the public hearing,
Oh, what was that?
just say,
That was read AI.
Mhm. So, yeah, we do have a public hearing.
right, okay, for the notice to taxpayer Form 3.
Okay.
You guys have all that in your
This one?
review, yes.
Yep.
So this is our, what we are submitting for our budget for this year. What we want our budget to be, so this doesn't have to be voted on at this meeting, but this is for the general, the township assistance, the fire budget, and for this equipment replacement fund. Our budget estimate numbers and our current levy appeals and what we're expected to raise for 2027.
This doesn't look all that different from last year, though. Is that adjusted for SB1?
I just have one question. What is the -7%?
Well, that is for the debt service.
Okay,
So the debt service is for the two bonds that we currently have.
okay,
I'd have to dig in deeper with Senator Dalton, like, and why that has a negative number, unless they're anticipating that we're going to receive less funds than we need to pay out for those two loans for the 2024 bond proceeds and the 2025 GO.
it's a difference between column 3 and column 5.
5 is our current tax levy.
Yeah. So the difference between them. Yeah, I guess it could be.
The percentage, yeah.
Only thing I was asking was, that's 0,
That's for rainy day, because we don't have
and
funds
that's
in rainy day anymore.
0. And so I was trying to figure, okay, so that's between 3 and 5.
Mhm. The percentage, is that what you're looking to see?
I'm trying to figure out, if you got 0 and 0, okay, if you have 0 and 0,
Oh, yeah, there's nothing in this one for 0, 0. There's no
Right.
percentage. But you're talking about the debt service.
okay, I got you now. And this is this one. I guess I'm trying to figure out how you got. I was just trying to.
See, this is what we're submitting as our budget. Okay,
Right.
The first one, and then this, column 5 is our current tax levy. So much money. You see the estimates are
Right.
column 3, which I'm not sure if I remember clearly, Steve.
Because I'm assuming this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I look on this side for 6, it says a percentage difference between column 3
Right,
and column 5.
So that's the difference between the maximum estimated funds and the current levy.
right.
So the maximum funds estimated for next year on debt service is less than what we have in the current
Okay,
levy.
show me on here because I'm confused.
What do you mean?
Okay, if this is 0 and this is 0,
Right,
and number 6 is a difference between 3.
well, it's a percentage also, it's not just a straight.
Okay.
Dollar amount,
But,
it's a percentage.
okay, the difference between the 2 columns, how does it get to be 7?
That's just for, but you also know that's just for debt service, right?
Okay, so,
So it's two.
okay, so this
It's
doesn't
the
up
entire
on
budget,
this
right?
side.
It's about 200,000, well, 140,000 difference between
Okay,
our current
so
account
it's,
and then. So
so
that's
it's,
7%.
show me which columns you're talking about here.
This column and this column,
So it's this column minus this column.
right, the percentage is 7% lower,
Okay,
less than the negative.
Well, we're estimated to have less money to pay on the debt service
Okay.
next year.
difference between column 3, 1, 2, 3, and column 5. So the difference between 3 and 5. Okay, just don't understand how it got to be negative.
I might have to look into that, which I didn't know either.
If you look at the other columns, if I can add that, since on the other column, the numbers are smaller in column 5, that's why it's a positive number.
Mhm.
Debt service is the only one where column 5 is actually bigger than column 3.
Okay,
On the other ones,
Right.
column 5 is normally smaller, and that's why it's showing the difference.
so column 3 is 1,000,007 something, right?
Right.
And then column 5 is a 1920, right?
And that's our current.
Okay, so are you saying that you're subtracting column 3 from column?
I'm assuming the percentage is, not assuming, but that from column.
The math works. The difference between those two, that's how much of the percent is of the column 3.
Okay. It doesn't seem right to me, but then I've never been great at math. Because if you take 3, subtract it from 5. I think y'all's word. I just didn't quite understand that, that's all.
So the difference between the two is $134,689, which is 7% of the total of 1.9 million.
Okay.
That's what the difference is. Double checking my math there, but yeah. Yeah, I can eyeball it.
Yeah,
Shouldn't think
it's-
about it, but
Seems close.
And if you want me to find out for the next meeting, because this is for you,
You can
if you want,
me.
like, right, exactly why, I'm just assuming that.
And that was just when I was trying to figure it out at home, I couldn't figure it out. I thought it shouldn't have been this from this. Okay. Fine with me.
Okay. You
and so these are the general estimated amounts. I think I would like to, so Jason has mentioned that he thinks that the tax levies are gonna be a big issue next year, I thought.
Okay.
So I would appreciate if he would put a breakdown of that in here.
Where are you,
That's-
what are you looking at? So I can.
I'm just looking at the general maximum estimated funds, right?
Okay,
Because these are
gotcha.
not significant differences in most of the areas. the current year to next. So, I don't know, I thought, I'm not sure if I'm misreading this or if that is something that can't be accounted for until we have different numbers, so that's something that we should go into a little.
As far as the tax levies being issued next year, what does he anticipate?
Right, like, I thought he had said that the tax levies were gonna drop quite a bit for township assistance. But that's not really being reflected here. And this doesn't include circuit breaker, right?
It does not, I don't believe. Because I'm not sure, and I don't know if Steve can correct me on this, if they know yet.
Isn't your property tax cap credit the circle breaker? Is that just another name for it? That's how I always understood it, thank you. That's what that reflects, a property tax cap credit, I thought that.
Right.
Yes.
And he said to me, because I asked him earlier, it says it does not take into account circuit breaker.
Okay,
So, and I can get more, tell me he needs more of an explanation next month, when you guys read on this, something like that, why it does that.
Yeah, so I thought last year, our budget was about the 1 million, so 943,000 is what's being budget estimate there for number two.
And your
Yeah.
concern is that the tax said that we were getting less money.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought that's what Jason had said, and I thought that was like, I know when that stuff came in before, right, we had a budget shortfall suddenly because of that, so I'm just not sure how that's being reflected on here, and if we've got,
If it's gonna be like a further. like,
Yeah.
It dip even more than we were this last time.
right,
I don't know if it's gonna dip any further, but I'll make a note for him to verify that. And then I think we've taken that hit. That's where the hit's staying. The issue was that the elevated, the township assistance part is not gonna be elevated up.
Yeah.
That hit is staying for a couple of years.
I might be thinking because it came half year, so I thought we had 1 million for the year, but it might have been just the second half that was cut.
No, the entire year was cut in 2025.
Right,
It's just we weren't aware of it until we got our first tax settlement payment in June of 25 and looked at the numbers on the sheet from the auditor and said,
right.
what's going on?
Okay, well, we got
But yeah,
about that more next time.
because your thought, but I'll break down is that the township assistant was going to get cut even further.
So I thought our township assistance previously had been about 1 million a year. And then after that, it dropped to like almost 500,000, I thought. But that might have been 500,000 left for the year.
I think that's the way it is, but I'll have them there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it was really more like,
Okay, that would make sense.
and then it was knocked out. Yes.
Because it was about a third, I think, was what loss was. Okay,
I just got one thing that would help me. When it's on another page,
yeah,
Look around the other way.
put this
Yeah.
here, okay? Because I had thought about that,
Moving
moving back and forth and counting.
I can see them.
Thank you.
Actually, this is before what I don't understand, if I did a two-page, it would be here, but then you'd have to line up, like you could line it up like this, things like.
Yeah, just take
This is
this
there.
right here
Uh-huh.
and put it on
Paste
this
it up
side.
here, yeah.
so that's the general notice for the budget.
This is what we're, asking for, and this is what we're budgeting for,
But this doesn't take in what's happening with SB1, does it?
That was kind of what I was asking about now.
Yeah. And I still get confused when SB1 takes effect.
Should be next year, I thought.
2007, right?
Right, and scheduled for after the midterms.
you have a question?
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
you
I'm
look,
trying to get
you
it.
look over like you're about to ask me something.
I'm trying to get in and I was listening to something on public radio. And I thought they were saying that the SB1 takes effect 2027, right? Okay. So this reflects 2027.
True.
Okay,
I'm guessing the estimates were done by Dalton's firm?
Yeah, Steve, yeah, and I just texted him last night, they reviewed and pleased that this budget will be fine under the effects of SB1. So Dalton's group reviewed this.
All right, well, that was kind of a
That's
question.
that, and alongside with that, we have both the salary resolution for you guys to review, which obviously needs to be updated
okay,
to reflect the program coordinator taking a zero out of there.
okay.
Yes, 500,000 to program coordinator. We're gonna go with a no.
I could reprint that.
Jason ought to look at being a battalion chief. Okay, let's see if I have any questions. So are the, who's getting a raise?
That's on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we start with the fire, you want to start with the fire or the township?
I'd rather do this one first.
That's right, but which side, what do you want to talk about first? So I can know it's you,
Okay.
you talking.
Let's start with the township.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. The township, for next year, we have the general fund and also the assistance fund.
Okay.
It is a standard across the board, 3% raise. We have reworked, one of the job switches with,
Okay,
our, yes,
okay, now this is our trustee on this one, right?
that is correct.
Remember, the trustee's salary is split between Portage Township and the fire.
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
So they pay,
So the difference is the territory.
Yes, why this, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, the difference is in the budget.
okay. And,
yeah, so we do the 65 and they do the 15.
right. And there's no raise for 27 for the trustee? Was there any raise coming from the fire territory toward the trustee's cost? Where he manages stuff?
It does not look like that, so.
Okay, but there's a discrepancy here because this is saying 65, 15. That's 87,500. Yeah. Sneaking raise in there for himself, eh?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, so we've got to figure that out and then we should change the other one.
That is correct.
So the trustee, from our standpoint of just doing the Portage stuff, is not getting a raise. The office manager is.
Well, the office manager is because the job, but I think this is the last time we defined it, which was, we had with Erin, who's leaving after 47 years of service early next year or something like that. She was the, supervisor for the 2 caseworkers and the intake clerks. Well, we're like redefined that role and plus what her part of it will be, which is Jamie's gonna take, and we're gonna like redo a little of her job, and part of a little bit of the vendor related stuff is gonna come back to me, and Jamie's gonna manage the 2 caseworkers and the 1 intake part-time clerk. And also everything that is related to the assistants when we do things like Codes for Kids and when we have issues with Colonel King and all that stuff.
Right.
So that's why we're redoing it. Her salary looks like it's going up a little more, but really it's the additional roles and those, she's gonna be taking on. But then Erin's gonna be obviously not in that mix.
Okay, so I understand the trustee part, and the reason it's different on this side is because
I think this spreadsheet's incorrect. I'm about to go over it with him.
Yeah, no,
I think there's one of these, some of the other ones are correct. I see like program coordinator and facilities tech and stuff, but I didn't look to see this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
resolution is
Yeah.
not reflected on this.
Right.
So we've got to update that.
So this is gonna be updated, plus this is gonna be. Okay.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm assuming the resolution is the actual.
Yes.
This is the.
This is like the behind the background for all of us to look at and analyze, but this is what will be the resolution that we publicly posted.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure I'm understanding this. So I would take 65 from 87,500 to know what the fire territory is contributing toward.
No,
No,
this is wrong.
this is wrong, and I think it has to be read
Yeah.
a little both on the general side for
Okay,
the.
help me know what's wrong. Tell me.
This says 87,
My glasses on.
so this says 87,500.
Right,
And the trustee is split between the two, and you see it says 65,000 and then 15,000, which only comes up to 80,000.
so
So
where's
that's-
the 15,000 at?
That's on
You're getting
this page.
this page.
No, it's here, the next page here is the fire page.
Okay,
And then at the top, you can see there's 15,000 there. So there's a fair amount missing from the trustee's
Okay,
salary that
okay,
needs to be
I got you.
appropriated.
Okay. All right. So what needs to be fixed is telling us how much is coming from the fire territory. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's split to a certain percentage, so we need to take the 87,500, put it into both of these and split it to whatever the percentage is that we do between the two. I don't recall exactly.
And is this the? So the 87 you're getting off of here, but that's not right. Is that what you're saying?
No, I believe that's correct. I think this background part is not done correctly. I have to go back through and look at these.
Right.
So one of these isn't right. So which one do you think is not right?
It's-
This one,
Yes.
which we're talking about on.
But the difference between is not gonna go all to the fire territory.
Right.
$22,000 is not gonna go to the fire territory part of it. They're not gonna take that big of a hike.
I mean, we're splitting it about 18% before between the two. So I guess if it's 87,500.
And do we have to vote on this today?
No,
No, we're not.
no,
voting.
that's updated.
Okay,
Or with, I should say with it. So
Yeah.
that's correct.
okay,
We can't vote on these because they're not.
that would help me, because.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see, I'm asking any other questions? Okay, the deputy trustee. That's you. Okay. Okay. Then I don't think I have any questions about what we're budgeting salary rise. And, who's the program coordinator?
Connor,
Connor,
that's
okay,
where our titles for him, yeah,
okay.
So that's paid through the township now, not through any grant, right?
that is correct. Yes, in the first year, I think I think both years was about 20K each, but then the third year, there was no grant available to them. So Portage Township for year 2026 is doing the entire salary, so everything has to do with Nourish, even any reimbursements of anything for that all come out of our general budget, our budget. We don't get any reimbursements at all.
Do you know so far how much we use in legal services so far this year?
Are we going on to legal services? Do you have any questions about any of the other salaries, or are you gonna?
No,
I think.
I'm assuming Alice is a legal service, right?
Oh, yeah, Alex is a legal service.
And I'm just wondering is, how much have we spent so far on legal services?
For the township side,
Yeah,
it's about 8,400.
that's how much we spent so far. Then that should be, because I'm assuming we're gonna get more and more people coming to us with complaints about their housing.
Well, that's not legal services. That would come out of assistance. Legal services is like dealing with the lawsuit or.
That's- Okay, so where does the money come out that we pay Alex when he does Cedar Glen?
The general,
Yeah,
because township assistance doesn't have a budget for all those operating expenses like that come out of our general fund.
oh, really?
So, yeah. township assistance doesn't have, legal fees.
So where is the
So
legal
when,
fee?
anytime like when we fought Cedar Glen a couple of years ago, and they also did some paperwork on,
Carl King.
Carl King and that,
So
so that
where
was
does
all
that
paid out of
come from?
the general fund.
Okay,
Mhm.
Is that-
Under legal fees.
That is under. So all of the work that Masters has done, that Alex has done, that's all coming out of that same 8,400. That seems very cheap.
where's the
For
eighty-four
Carl King, are
hundred?
you talking about for the building?
That's right, there's two different legal questions here, right? There's legal costs for the operation of the township itself, and then legal
Right.
costs in pursuit of like community issues.
Right.
I would think those are in different
They are in
categories.
different categories.
Yeah.
We're not paying for the legal fees for this building. The general fund.
Tell me what this legal fee was for. The 40,000.
That's the budget.
That's budgeted.
No.
That's not the actual, this is actual budgeted for, this is year 26.
Right, but so I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, so this was for this year, that I understand. So I'm asking, how much have we spent in this category?
Things like Carl King and all the, and.
Is that where it comes from?
Yes.
Okay, so how much,
That's on this one. So this is our actual budget review for what we're doing. This is our for the plan for next year. So this is just a review for,
Expenses for the.
yeah, so
okay,
yeah, we've had line 31010, 8,400.
There's legal, it's $40,000 is budgeted in there.
That does seem low for the year considering everything.
okay, we did
I don't feel like
40,000
we've done it.
and we've only spent 800. Okay, I just want to make sure we're budgeting enough for next year.
I think they're gonna never probably, it's probably gonna be a bad idea to continue to keep mindful of that, in my opinion, I'm not the trustee, but of all the different things that are going on, including fighting for the tenants of Portage.
Right, I just wanted to make
Should always be
sure.
mindful.
Yeah, I
At
didn't,
least keeping it for next year, 40,000, but I.
that's fine. I just wanted to see how much we had actually spent so far.
Yeah.
40,000 should be enough, even if we end up with one or two apartment complexes. That
Oh,
were,
in 27?
yeah. So
Yes.
I think, yeah, 40,000 would be enough.
Yep.
Let's see if I get any other questions. Nope. What kind of things are human resources?
That's the police out like outside, a lot of times, advice, like a year or so ago, we used a lady named Julie Clark to get some like human resource advice to make sure that we were getting on par with that. So if we were gonna do something like that, we may use those for like a professional services of using somebody.
The Nourish
Yep.
program, that's for the materials they use, right?
That is correct. That's not
Okay.
salary related, but that's up here where, like I said, his salary is completely funded by Portage Township. So that is all of the food that's purchased for all 20 classes they do throughout the year. Any supplies, they need to prep that up.
Are we doing the end of program gift like we did before?
What we do with every class, he kind of gets about between a $30 and $40 gift each week to raffle off. And then there's gonna be the year end, they have, which
Yeah.
if you can, where they do a couple extras. I mean, it's nothing like even, it's usually falls along the same line, but it's usually something also cooking related that goes along with the class a lot of times.
I think we did like a crock pot or something.
Crock pot, I found a couple weeks ago at Costco, a big electric skillet that was huge to look for a family to, and if they didn't have gas or whatever, but just power, it'd be easier too, and it was like, it's really nice too. That's so nice at home.
Give me examples of community outreach, that we use that money for.
Oh, gosh.
Because according to this one,
Community outreach could be like when we did, stuff at a Rosie Place, out there by, Warren Township Fire.
okay,
Territory,
gotcha.
community outreach could be, a lot of times, a lot of things we sponsor, like, we just got a request.
I think do on October 17th in that relay.
The relay, yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be community outreach.
which is, the relay is for
There's a dismiss house.
Business House. Like that, yeah, there's,
Sponsored.
yes. Yes. A lot of the things that go on, people, like, I think even, I'm trying to think, also, there was $1,000, I believe we recently put through the Southern Community Schools as part of their back to school.
Okay,
Something that's, what Prisha Johnson asked for here through the BPA. I could pull up a list of, yeah, but items like that that are outreach into the community.
okay, got you.
We don't do like posts for kids out of there. We do that out of the assistants because we have them do an application too. And we run it through the clothing, which we can see on the other side of this in a minute. But anything, community related like that. Sometimes actually, I think I put in,
Like the Thanksgiving stuff.
yeah, right now, the community dinner too, because that's a community.
Right, okay, gotcha.
Which we had, so.
Good.
So we'd be mindful and do even more.
I think they don't have any other.
We also have stuff like, park supplies or cemetery supplies, like, we're responsible for mowing, Portage.
Right.
And so stuff like that, when they have to do that, we don't really obviously need to plow there or anything like that, maybe once, but that's like, utility service, obviously that amounts there because there's 2 buildings. We pay all the utilities and trash and water.
Now, this utility service, that's not what's going to client.
No,
That's for like the lights and all
That's the
here
lights,
and
the
everything. Okay,
trash.
gotcha.
Street. Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
The next one real quick is assistance, which obviously. We have 2 caseworkers and 1 intake clerk for next year. And stuff, and then property inspection is expenses. We don't generally have a lot, but Jason would have put $1,000 in there in case there was anything that was needed, even like gowns or booties or something. If he's going into a
You
house.
talking about travel spend?
No, property inspection.
Page 2, I think you're.
I've gone too many pages. Okay.
So then obviously there's burial, clothing, which will have a lot to do with coats for kids,
Right.
and items like that. Food, non-food, there was some put in there. There's also the food pantry. So we do have a budget of about $22K a year besides the donations we get in, and obviously keeping our shelf stocked is, and the challenge of getting the best deals, because we don't get free food unless people donate it. Because we're not a 501c. Prescriptions, we put a couple dollars in, but quite frankly, a lot of people can get those if they do need them free through over here on William Street. URX, Strenko Smith, that's right. And she's I think her name is, I forget her name is, but anyways, she's really good to work with. And then the figures for the electric, gas, water,
Yeah,
and shelter.
it's the electric and shelter.
Mhm.
Just out of curiosity, I gotta find it. I wanted to see what we were running for burial.
So it's kind of been a decent amount. We're
10,000.
Yeah, no, I wanted to see what we're doing for burial as of this year.
As of at the end of July, we're almost at $4,000.
Okay,
So it's almost on track to kind of stay with that. And we've been able to stay fortunately, with the $400 cremation to people and explain it to them. So, but it is a little bit on the rise.
at Mamas Against Violence, or I'm not remembering totally the name. Palmer came up to me and thanked us for.
Cleary?
I don't know which one, but he said, "Oh, I'm Palmer." And da-da-da.
They're really good to work with. I
Yes,
worked with them
and
a
he
lot,
said, "Thank you
Aaron
for
works with them.
using their
Yeah.
company."
We told them we were respectful for, they were a business run and we appreciated that they could work with us. Putting that all together. So yeah,
It's good we've been able to kind of figure that out, because I know it was a
Yeah,
big problem.
it was, yeah.
A little shady before.
It's about, and he's got a couple of, directors in particular, a couple different locations, including River Park that are great to work with, and we work really well with them as far as capturing and getting people.
Nobody else gives us the deal they give us.
St. Joe does, and
St. Joe.
Alfred's and.
Oh, he started because before he didn't. No, he did not.
They do
That was
have
an issue.
Bruce, Cielo. We've had a lot of conversations with them and. So it's kind of, it's came around to working out.
One last question. I know Jason had talked about, going to visit other,
Township.
right, or other places on how they deal with issues of, housing violations and all. Now, that can't be this travelers.
Yeah, it could be, that comes out of there like gas or for the vehicle or.
Okay, because that just seems awful low.
No, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how much of that he's done this year either. Like a lot of that was last year.
No, that new committee he put together.
I don't think that's the
In,
same.
in the, Tribune, it talked about them going to visit places.
Well, I mean, that hasn't started yet, has it? So,
I guess it
Are you on the fires? Are you on the fire territory?
yeah, I mean, it's 5:45. Let's move on to fire territory. So Chief, if you have anything that you want to share about the fire territory budget?
I guess just one question on the wages. It sounds like you guys already know the resolution is wrong and has to be updated, so we won't belabor that, but the rest of the questions, since you just had a chance to ask a bunch of questions, unless something else came up, Cheryl, I mean, in the interest of your time, you guys can fire away.
Wait a minute, I gotta make sure I got the right sheet in front of me.
And I asked my questions at the territory meeting, so.
This one will seem like it's spread out a little longer, Cheryl, I'll just let you know real quick, because Chief and I have worked on, and he had a great idea he came up with, which was drilling down most on things like per station too, like.
Right.
This is all internally anyways, this isn't for like the deal for the public, but things like station supplies, repairs, their fire supplies. So you can kind of track and see kind of where things are falling and,
Right.
on target and that stuff. So that's why it'll move on to the next page where you see stuff.
Yeah, I don't have it.
So a lot of those amounts that have $1,000 in it, we're just learning what the right
Yeah.
budget amount should be.
Right.
As we continue to massage that over, I think they'll get more and more accurate.
So that covers public hearing and the resolution setting salaries, which needs to be revisited.
Right.
Township guidelines, I've actually shared the guidelines out with a few people. We've done a lot of revisions over the last couple of years to make them a little more fair, a little less ridiculous in some cases.
What do people say?
I haven't gotten any feedback yet. I just started sharing it with people today, honestly.
Okay,
So I just wanted to have some other eyes on it, see if there's anything we're missing.
makes sense.
But because we've gone over it in depth the last 2 years to cut stuff and fix it. So I think that's everything though for new business, unless there was any commentary on the guidelines or anything else for now. We can save that for next time when everyone's here.
I have something for new business. It's very minute, okay? But if we can, I'd like us to buy some school supplies while they're cheap. And have them ready for someone who moves new into our territory. Nobody does for the second after January. And the kids come back to school, nobody does school supplies. And some school supplies run out.
It'd be nice to have some of that on hand or
Right.
in stock for people. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and you gotta buy it now, because if you wait until December, or, so suddenly the notebook that is 35 cents is up to $1 something. So I would like us to think about having some school supplies here. The clear backpacks, even though the private and parochial and charter schools don't need it. Still, they can still use it. So I'd like us to think about, spending some money on school supplies.
Makes sense. That's something we can talk about next time, maybe to see how much we're gonna put toward that. I don't know, Cheryl, if you could put together just a thought, like maybe if we prepare like 5 or 6 supply packs if needed for people.
Cause I can go ahead and get who gets crayons and who gets pencils
Grant.
together. And then,
All right, that's fine. Let's think about that maybe for next time, as if we just set a target of having a couple of those packs on here, how much would it run each of them? So, okay. All right. Let's move on then to old business. Is there any old business to discuss? Don't have anything on here, so anything community?
any questions I was gonna ask, how are things going over at Carl King? Because September is the deadline, they're supposed to have all the stuff fixed.
My knowledge is the last couple of weeks, it's kind of quieted down a little, but they solve a lot of serious problems over there.
Yeah,
They have a lot of elevator problems, which to me is very concerning with all the elderly or disabled people that live in that building.
right, it is.
They have a lot of, in my mind, a lot of mold and water issues too.
Bed bugs issue.
A bed bug issue, which is some of the stuff like, the mold thing is also a big issue at Miami Hills too, which hasn't even really been brought to the forefront.
Where we went with Jefferson Apartments.
I would have to double check and
So there
see.
was this sewage back up in the sinks.
They did address that.
Yeah,
They did.
from what I heard, once they got some pressure on them, they took care of that.
So that looks like.
And Jefferson has been pretty responsive as the minute we say, hey, you don't have any lights, in your parking lot areas or in your hallways for people, and they're all like ready to just look at it.
That's new ownership, right?
Yeah,
I just saw they changed the name again.
it's like the third or fourth they know. But every time they seem to be responsive, and a lot of times they either write Jason and Jamie or have resolved, the minute you're like, hey, we hear this is going on, and next thing you know, we get an email a week later that it's resolved.
Okay.
Yeah, one question for you, Ryan, maybe to go under old business. We're doing that lease purchase process of all that stuff. In your mind, has all that been approved, or are you still thinking that there's still a step of approval has to happen? It seems like we've gone to the board like 2 or 3 different times and have had motions and they've been approved, and we're getting ready to sign the actual documents pretty soon. So I'm just curious, your perspective.
like we were going by equipment, right? Like we approved a group of equipment and.
You don't want fire stuff, right?
Fire.
Okay,
So like, I don't think we approved any of the trucks, right? Like the tankers. We did the ambulance. I don't think the first tanker was on there though yet.
I thought the last one that it was.
It did have the tanker truck, not I'm thinking of the engines. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what it is. We've been improving it in lots like that.
Yeah.
We did it there, so we approved the funding through here. I don't know if we need another vote here. So I would need to check with Jason.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Lana, and I've been talking with Alex because they're running, say, hey, the lease documents we have, we gotta sign them. And to keep our rate that's locked in and everything. So it's kind of like some feedback we've gotten from Alex is, do we need to go back to the board yet and get it all approved again? And I'm like, and even reading your notes from last time, it seems like it's all been approved last time under new business. So I was just kind of like, where really do we stand on saying go?
I think. if we could-
Yeah, we
Go
definitely
ahead,
want
Lana.
financing terms. Sale of tankers 41. I would have to double check, because I thought we had gone through and actually approved a lot of that, but then we just had the vote at the last meeting for that other batch of equipment. So if that would have come up, I think we probably should have voted on it here today. we might need to schedule an extra meeting to get that taken care of.
Okay.
To make sure that it goes in before the rates change. That's something to check with Jason.
Yeah, but I think the issue was making sure that everything was in order for the approval of the financing, not from where we're getting the financing, and not that everybody wasn't aware of the financing, that it went through.
Right, the final signature on. Yeah. We, Fire Territory Board and Portage Township. So Fire Territory Board is already approved. So I think we do need that last resolution from us approving the specific equipment that was voted by the.
I would concur with you. I think part of where the confusion comes in is the interlocal agreement. It references that the Fire Territory Board is considered the joint board of the two townships. So I think when people read that joint board, they think we have to have two separate total board meetings on those kind of purchases. We have to do it for the budget. That's a separate issue. Presentation. Yeah, it's spelled out that that's the budget, but the actual interlocal agreement specifies that the territory board serves as the joint board for both townships. So it's like, I think Alex was questioning whether we needed to, and he was still researching last I talked to him, whether we needed to go back through all that. It does. Aside from being a model of the most inefficient thing in government possible, it would just be ridiculous to just keep going back and forth. It's like, okay, at some point we got to say, okay,
Do
everybody.
you mean Warren's board would need to as well?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is whether it'd be a separate meeting of just the Warren board to have it. And it's like, that's what the territory board is. It represents the
Right.
joint board of those two. So when they pass it and approve it, which we did at the last meeting, it's like,
It still
Okay.
has to come back to us as a provider unit to authorize the funds.
agreed. Yeah,
But
agreed.
there's no reason Warren's board, since
Should have to do
people
it.
already voted on it in the joint board,
Correct.
is my interpretation.
Correct. I would agree. So that's the resolution we needed Alex to wrap it up for us.
If it's urgent, we need to lock that financing and we might need to set a meeting for next week.
But it wouldn't be us.
It would be us.
Oh, okay, we would be.
We're the provider, unit is to go say, go ahead, sign the checks. Sign the agreement.
I'll just make sure I don't schedule anything for the next few Tuesdays until.
Okay.
Well, other question I had. Jason mentioned another apartment complex that we were getting questions about.
Miami Hills for sure.
Was it Miami Hills?
It's the one with the trailer park.
Yeah.
I think that's.
We may have gotten a couple.
Is that the trailer?
Speaking
Was that the trailer park that's which way? West or off of Mayflower? That's one?
of,
so.
see what's the name of that trailer?
Westwood, Westwood, West is the name of the streets.
It might look like me.
Well, the one off Lombardi on Western Avenue,
Yeah,
that's the closest apartment complex you have if you're coming back in toward the city from Mayflower. You have. Lombard, that's Countryside Village. If that's what you're talking about, sorry, I thought you said apartment complex. Countryside Village,
Okay, that's what Mayflower.
that is on Mayflower, so I want to stop Mayflower.
Family for stuff we're doing with them. Miami. Okay,
Miami Hills has been,
forever something's been wrong with them.
Just put out a thing on our website. So these apartment complexes for not requiring us to get involved. Always a little, well, and then I'm thinking about that, like the ones I'm thinking of, like, oh, they're slightly out of the township.
I just know there were two he mentioned.
Yeah, I think it was Beacon and Miami Hills.
Let me think if I had any other questions. I guess that's it. I know we don't know anything about the appeal, that I know.
that's correct. They're just creating their new street.
Yep.
So in part of our parking lot, so yeah. We did get a notification from the city that it appears that they're seeing some reading that there's something wrong with our water.
Wait a minute, say it again for me.
Our water, I got a notice from the city, that they want to test our water because they're getting signals, and probably so because the toilet water and other water is rusty water around here, so.
So
But they sent us that email, so I said, oh,
they want to test it?
Yeah.
Had anything to do with the breaking the
maybe
main?
because they shut off the drains and stuff, so last week when we had torrential downpours, I drove in here and Aaron and Kelly was on the other one here, and I went, both of our parking lots on this side and that side
Were flooded.
were flooded. There was like 2 parking spots available, so I came in right away and called the city project manager and said, hey, we have a big problem here. And what they came to realize was that they didn't, with the maps of the city, they didn't realize that there was, you know, drainage this way and stuff, so they had to fix that, and they've been, I will say the excavator and the project manager have been good to work with to kind of resolve some of those issues to keep us rolling, so. But yeah, nothing on that, the shoes for the unsheltered kids went great, the kids were excited, it was a great success.
Yeah, I saw it on TV.
A lot of fun.
How many kids did we serve about?
It's 50.
50?
Yeah.
That's a
It
good.
was a lot of fun. They were down the aisles, putting in shoes and trying them on.
How much did it cost about, you think?
Only about $2,200. So
That's not bad
Yeah.
for shoes.
Shoe Carnival is a great partner in it for the limit and stuff we sent, and most people didn't go over come close to the limit, and Carnival gave us the 25% discount. So they're a great partner.
Nice.
Myers with us to kind of help that out. So shout out to Shoe Carnival. So.
Do you know when we're gonna start signing people up for the coats and the
We're gonna start
gloves and the
talking about
boots?
that in the next couple of weeks. We just
Okay.
gotta kind of make sure we define. And this is our 4th year, I believe. No, 3rd year, because we didn't do it last year. We just want to make sure we have all the things in place. I mean, we've got to kind of do a science to make sure. With Jason and review it with Aaron and Jamie and myself. All the parameters of that, so we're all in a good way, but it usually runs pretty smooth.
Yeah, I remember the only thing that first year we had trouble with was high school students don't wear coats.
Right.
And so we now
Right,
know.
no, exactly, and there's not an issue with just doing like the hoodies. The high school kids, because
Yeah.
they wear the
Did you wear hoodies to the high school?
Hmm?
I didn't think you wore a hoodie in high school.
stuff that's going.
Yeah, I don't think they're allowed to wear
No,
hoodies.
they can wear hoodies as,
Their coat, too.
that they're cool too.
Okay, you just can't wear it around the inside the school.
Inside the school,
Okay,
right?
yeah, I was make sure if you're getting hoodies on.
And then that's what we discovered, that
Okay,
no
yeah.
self-respecting high school student wears a coat.
No, yeah.
It's not cool, like every generation, we all had our generation, so
Yeah.
it wasn't cool. But
Somebody asked me when, they could come to sign up, and they would probably qualify.
because we do applications and kind of a brief overview of
Right.
caseworkers of synopsis of their case. And I think that's gonna start in the next couple weeks, because I think we're looking for the 3rd week. We haven't ironed that out with Meyer yet. They have been another great partner for us, but to do that, but we're gonna try to shorten that up in the next week or 2 with Jason coming back. Like I said, sitting down with Aaron, kind of put the parameters of how much the coat, because think about pushing that back a little, they can still get a great coat and or gloves and whatever, and saying, here's the parameters, because they also usually have a good sale at Meyer, and we still think people can get a great quote.
Have we had, well, no, it's too early. I go, has anybody come and asked about uniforms?
Just gas or electric.
We kind of went over the budget review a little bit. Is there anything that we need to check on with that?
No, this
Um,
is like the review. Next month will be the approval, but I think those numbers need to be re-updated and sent to you guys to review so that we can get any questions before the, vote in that month, because there's a couple there that I apologize, I didn't read through too, that put together.
Okay.
You kind of fix it, but yeah, those will be done for next month.
Any updates on, is there anything on facilities? Any updates?
No
I think
update
that's
on. We have a fence going up outside. It should be done by the end of this week to protect our air conditioning unit, although summer's moving in because apparently we are compelled to subject next real quick. Seal or take part or GAP or whatever the
Right.
Chief Downey and myself and Sammy have been working with Permar for a new camera system, and they've been working on some for the fire territory, and ours is a little more intense. Updating a couple of the ones up front, and also, swapping over the software because we were with a communication company. Don't think it was the right fit for us. We're gonna add some features such as, they're gonna have a monitoring system to it too, and also kind of like that voice where there's a parameter set up, so if somebody's going too close.
So back in Jason's voice. From my building.
Yeah. And things like that, because obviously safety, and as we all know, it seems to be every 6 to 12 months or something's gotta happen here. And it would be in our best interest to obviously protect that as we should. And it'll be a good safety feature for, the employees. And on top of it, we did have a different camera system from ADT over at William Street that we originally did an alarm system when Jason became trustee. And we are working with Permar to swap out that so that all the cameras for both sites, well, actually, and even the fire territory, can be all in one system. We can monitor, and they'll have that too, and including I think we're talking about panic buttons for both here and William Street.
Those are all closed circuit systems, right? Like it's not,
It's tied in the fall.
okay, because that's, obviously a bit of a topic right now. We don't want random surveillance that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, okay, good.
So, and so it'll be good for us and for the seniors too. So that is a facility update yesterday. Thank you, I should say, for reminding me that I didn't even think that. So we have successfully, as of today, got our new server in or switch from the AME group, who's our IT,
What about my fence?
Oh, there's a fence coming up over here. I'll show you when it's done.
Okay.
And also
With
this
barbed
week
wire.
with. And I have a legal opinion on that to make sure we're exactly I can do that. The fence also is supposed to start going up this week around Portage Cemetery. From Sikowski, so they had to order some material, the same issue that happened with the fencing here. It took a couple of weeks, but they're and Kelly checking out, see what the status of both of those are. So hopefully both of those will be done. So that way nobody will be driving over the cemetery.
All right, and any community events coming up we should know?
Not any that I think we have going. But I'd like to look at, is there some time that the caseworkers at both the public, private, parochial, charter schools have a time where that they have like meeting so that we could then have kind of like what we did with the little continental breakfast,
Mhm.
but just for
Oh.
school caseworkers. And find out if there's a time that we can do like we did before, start at, what was it, 7:30 or 8 or whatever, and then invite all the school counselors. And because they're another group of people who find out the kid needs something. So I think that's something we should look in and see if it's possible to do still for this school year.
Yes, Steve, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like sometime in the fall or something like that, or during their break, because, or I don't know, can counselors, does it, would they have to be on, like an in-service day or something like that to come to? So,
I mean, I know there's days that they have where the school is closed, but the teachers have in-service days. So I'm assuming that might also apply to the school counselors. Social workers, because there's a difference between a counselor and a social worker in public school.
are you looking for a counselor or social worker?
The school counselor is usually the one that helps you figure out your schedules and all that kind of stuff, right? The school social worker kind of works with you when you have issues.
I think you're
And-
gonna see crossover on those, though, in some schools. Might.
And, but I guess I'm saying to think maybe about if we can find there's when they're having something for the teachers, we can do something for the counselor/social workers.
We can look into that and then I can
Right,
touch base with you and see what kind of interest there is out there.
Right.
That'll work pretty smoothly. And have Jason talk again, maybe and do like a 8 to 9 o'clock one again, so they can get back, maybe even get back to school, maybe one day this year.
yeah,
Go
school
for six.
starts at around 8:15, so if we started at 8. Hello? I was like,
Okay.
dive underneath the table.
Okay,
So that's all I was, those are my two things. Does that with the counselors and social workers from the school, try to get it still this year. And school supplies for the second half of the school year. Can you email me who you are asking to look at the guidelines?
I was just sharing it with like some local activists I know and others.
Okay.
That would cross your.
Yeah, then I never thought about that. I'm gonna ask a couple people I know who are social workers.
And I've had to tell people like, just keep in mind, there are things that we have to have there by law, like
Right,
comment
right.
on work and other things.
Yeah, I tell that to people all the time, and particularly like when it's burial stuff.
Right. But if they catch other things or something that they feel might discourage someone from applying or like that would be good. I think we should keep making sure we're on top of it. So. I do have another meeting I need to get to though, so is there?
I don't have anything.
Motion,
I just saw you sign these with everything. For last time.
oh, the minutes.
Have to sign, don't
The
we?
motion, okay, if you wanna,
Want a motion to adjourn, Cheryl?
I motion we adjourn the meeting.
I will second, so meeting adjourned.
Okay. There you go.